Hello, welcome to the evening meeting. My name is Carol. I'll be your host today. Hope y'all will bear with me. It's not quieter, but that's okay. I am struggling today. Hey, oh, sorry.
How are you struggling?
Before, way before I was medicated, when I'd come down out of one of those episodes where I just felt like I could take on the world and conquer, right before that would leave me, I'd start to have this panic reaction. Like, okay, I'm sinking, and I'd go into what I would call my cocoon depression. Hey, Shannon Smith. And I am experiencing that right now. I'm experiencing that panic feeling. I'm hoping that the medication will keep me from sinking into that low,
Interesting,
dark place, but I'm not sure.
Wow.
I'm not sure.
Has anything? Well, yeah, I was
Maya?
going to ask. Has anything happened?
No. There's
Okay.
nothing that triggers it. I've never really been able to. Hello, my others keeper. Hi, Maya. I've never been able to pinpoint anything that triggers it. It's just hi. It's just my biology. It just is. I mean, I've dealt with it my whole life. And I'm so afraid that I have depression, that I have medication resistant depression.
Well, the mere fact
Scares me because something, I finally found something that like makes me feel like a somewhat normal human being. Hi, Mayonnaise Entertainment.
Well, you've been doing really well with that for a while now.
Yeah.
So I just wonder if it isn't something where something just needs to be adjusted.
Maybe so.
You've really been because of the fact that you have been doing so well for so long. It would seem to be the case where that isn't that wouldn't seem to be the case at all. They have drug resistant or resistant depression or anything. It just sounds like you just need an adjustment or something. I
Maybe
do
so.
know what that. I mean, I don't have, how do you call it? My baseline depression isn't bad enough to be at that level, but I do know what that's like to be, my normal, my normal level depression is a little bit lower than everybody else's. So when a situation comes along, I tend to really go down, but then I come back up really well. But yeah, I do know how. Yeah, there were years there that I remember, and yeah, that is really something to be going through, and thoughts and prayers.
Thank you. Well, does gravity work that way, Kim? As far as I know, gravity doesn't work that way. Of course, I've been out in the heat too. I did some brush hogging before I got on the show, but I mean, it's been like every day has been a little bit worse than the day before for at least the last week, maybe two, maybe longer.
Has there been any additional stressors? And sorry, I'm right beside the water, so if it's too loud, let me know. I keep muting myself to be safe.
It's not. I can't hear it.
Okay. Has there been any additional stressors or things like that have come up in the last couple of weeks?
Not really.
Okay.
Nothing new like that. Like I said, it's always just been, there's never been any thing that I've ever been able to pinpoint as a trigger. It just happens.
Yeah. Is there a possibility of maybe getting a blood test for your hormones and things like that as well?
Yeah, maybe so.
Because I don't like bringing up anybody's age, body type, anything like that, but given your age, maybe there's a hormone imbalance that is naturally happening at this particular point as well, because I know that you've got a new diagnosis, you've started these medications, I'm really wondering if, I'm not saying that it's not depression, I'm not saying that it doesn't need to be treated, okay? But I'm wondering if maybe there can be a blood test done to help you navigate that and navigate what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I did put in a call to my psychiatrist. I thought about putting a call to my family doctor too, but I thought I'd start there and wait to hear back from her.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I'd take the exact same steps, to be honest with you. Yeah. I'm so sorry you're going through this. All the love and support.
Thank you. I used to be able to delude myself with drinking and doing drugs that I was doing good and that I was okay.
Yeah.
It would only last for a little while.
And then it would all come crashing down at some point.
Every time.
Yeah. Personally, I felt like those crashes were bigger when I was using.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. They were certainly a lot more catastrophic.
Yeah.
And so unaware. I was just the hamster in the wheel, just running, those days. Just surviving from crisis to crisis. Thank you, Shannon.
Plant, thanks for taking us out to the river with you, or stream, whatever you call it.
This is called the Yamaska River. This is in the eastern townships of Quebec. And then I usually, this massive rock over here is usually where I lay down. I wasn't able to sit there and not worry about my phone falling in the water, so I chose a different rock.
Nice.
Wow, yeah. Bigfoot's hiding back there somewhere.
I'm lucky I'm in this area. I swear once I get a vehicle, I'm going to be going mountain to mountain to mountain. There's like 5 different mountains around me. So to go on a hike up each of the mountains, see all of the creeks, all of the freshwater springs, I'm doing it.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Thyroid trigger my depressions, but outside of that, simply managing my symptoms and the surety that it will go away helps me. Not being okay does not make us love you less. Thank you, Cant. I appreciate that.
It is something that I had thought about as well, and why I had suggested blood tests. I know that my mom had really struggled with thyroid issues. But when she was diagnosed, it was late 80s. So I can't tell you what her diagnosis would be nowadays because it was very grouped then. But thyroid issues, and when it was heightened, there was more issues. When it was under control, it was a bit better.
Okay.
I know. I was told that if you have thyroid issues, it can also look like the manic and depressive things of bipolar. So not that you're misdiagnosed or anything, but just because of what the thyroid does in your body. So if you're feeling those symptoms, then yeah, absolutely check your thyroid. Again, not a medical professional. That's just what I was told at one point. So I don't know how true that is or isn't, but something to think about.
Yeah.
And the hormone issues, I've dealt with those. I have to, and it happens. So I'm fine with it. But you have to take what do you call it? Testosterone. It's like, okay, that's all well and good. But then with some people, it takes your body will take testosterone and it will turn it into estrogen, which is what it was doing to me, which was really kind of fascinating because I'm normally very emotional. but I found myself getting emotional about really strange stuff like
Right.
this coffee cup. Oh my gosh, somebody's just so happy to design it, and they took it. Good for them. Oh, it's like, wow. Okay, yeah, got that adjusted real fast.
Oh my goodness. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that your body could take the opposite hormone and turn it in, well, the hormone that you need and turn it into the opposite hormone. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what causes it, and yeah, they there's stuff they can give you that'll wipe whatever out of your system, and so
Yeah.
that's all good. But yeah, I was getting like, and it wasn't real depression. It was just emotional on both sides. It's like, I'd cry for, and I'm, don't get me wrong. I would like to say I'm not fazed by anything, but I'd be lying my butt off. I am a very emotional person. I realize that. But I mean, it was like taking salt and putting it on something that's already salty. I was just crying over the strangest things, like, oh, that commercial was just, oh, that's just so good. Oh my gosh, I hope that person's gonna be okay. It's like, this is crap. What are you doing? Like,
I'll be
Right.
honest, it sounded like me when I was pregnant.
Sounds
Crying
like
over
me most of the time. Yeah.
Black Cat, just so you know, seeing a woman cry triggers me crying as well.
Seeing almost anyone cry
Anybody.
triggers me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that empathy. I appreciate it. Yeah, me too, Shannon. Yeah. Just turns on the waterworks. It's like an instantaneous thing. How are you, Rebecca?
I'm hanging in there. I'm okay. Not great, but I'm okay. And
Okay.
I was feeling a little bit better. So even though I'm really fatigued, today was better than the last several days. So I'm counting that as a win.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hours of work. So you know how I've hit 8 hours already. So you know how early I started this morning. If you consider
Right. Wow.
8 hours plus an hour and a half lunch break. And
Wow.
but
Wow. Wow.
yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
doing okay.
goodness.
I have not done any of the stuff that I should be doing. And yeah, I kind of feel bad about that. But if I'm honest, then somebody can say, Rebecca, you need to get, just a little bit. Because I've done nothing on the court stuff. I've done nothing on some of the other stuff I need to do. But though I have been processing a lot.
Okay.
Okay, that's something. That's something.
So
And not only that, just,
That may be the priority one right now.
yeah.
lots of stuff about my mom. And I realized, because I'll often listen to like some other channel when I'm doing it. Reese's thing from yesterday, I think it was, said something that triggered that she's actually farther along in forgiving people than I am. Because I feel anger and hate at my mother. And a part of me wants to just smack her really, really hard and make her feel the way I felt. Only, the realistic portion of me goes, Rebecca, that's just, you don't really want to do that. You'll regret it later. But yeah, it's just brought up a lot more stuff. And I'm just processing that. So. And crying some. But
And it's okay to not be at the same spot that somebody else is. I find it extremely hard not to do what you're doing, and that's comparing myself to others. And I feel like I should be further along because I've done this, 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 and this. And then this one thing comes along and backtracks me. And it's like, or I can't say it backtracks me. I'll be honest. If this was 2-3 months ago, I would have said today backtracked me. And nope, it didn't. I'm just recognizing where I'm at, and that's okay. And that's okay. I'm going to get triggered. I'm going to have to process. I'm going to have to work through things. Hence why I'm in nature this meeting. I decided I needed the F out.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I kind of wish we were closer because I have a car that never gets used and you need a car. I've been in that place where I couldn't afford to have a car. And for like 5 years, and my friend would just let me give them gas money, and I borrowed their vehicle to do some of that stuff. And so I kind of feel like I want to pay it forward because I've been there and it sucks.
Yeah.
And if you need to go
I
grocery
appreciate the sentiment. I really, really do.
we're closer. But
You know what? It gets me out for walks and it gets me out in nature a little bit. So I'm trying to see the positive in everything. Let's just reframe it all. Let's just twist it around and not think of the crappy crap and turn it around. Like, honestly, if I was not walking everywhere, I don't think I would be as impressed with my physical improvement as I am. And it's been a nice, slow progress this time. Whereas where I lost weight 5 years ago, 8 years ago now, it happened very, very fast and it all came back very, very fast. This time I'm eating as best as I can, of course, taking into consideration the fact that I don't have the option on carbs right now. But getting out and just making sure I'm getting at least an hour-long walk a day is made a huge difference. And it's not with the intention of anything but being healthier. That's it.
that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Actually, you guys were something from this meeting kind of put me on the right track, because I was reading through my notes, and one of the things we talked about at some point was focus on what you can do, not what you can't. And I kind of needed that little, because I've been feeling, comparing myself. I'm really good at that. And then some of the cult stuff has come up and going like, why have I not gotten through all this cult stuff? I've been out of college for 28 years. And it was kind of after that some of this stuff started. And just kind of feeling like, why is it not done yet? But we'll focus on what I can do. So thank you. Thank you
And
all.
I feel like this is a Christyism, but you weren't ready to deal with it yet.
And you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I didn't want to face, we're talking, it's probably 10 to 15 years ago, sometime in that frame, was before I could even call it a cult.
Yeah.
So, because nobody wants to believe they were, born and raised in a cult. Nobody wants.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and I'm dealing with the mom stuff, because the other portion of for the first time, I'm not giving her a break and not justifying anything that she's done, because a lot of it was intentional, and she was trying to break me and control me and have her daughter be exactly how she thought I should be. And so the vast majority of it was intentional.
So I'm not smiling because this is good, but I'm smiling because I'm hearing progress. I'm hearing progress that you might not be recognizing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of, it's like the first time I've done, because I have always said, she did the best she could. And my dad was an ass, but he wasn't a great person to begin with, and there was a lot of stuff he hasn't dealt with, and so that was part of it. But yeah, giving my mom the pass, really, and knowing she'd hurt me, but giving her a pass as if it didn't matter. And yet every time I see her, so when she was in the hospital for her heart attack, having that triggered me, and I didn't realize quite what it was, but that triggered me, and it's brought up a lot of stuff. So just trying to deal with that.
Wow.
Well, and I think two things can be true at the same time. She could have done the best as she could do, but she still intentionally hurt you. So, if that's something that you see, okay, well, she really did do as good as she could do. That could be a true statement, but intentionally hurting you, her having something else going on is also true. So it's not dualistic. Like it doesn't have to be only this can be true or only that can be true. They can both be true. And depending on where you're at and what you need to, like for you, because your healing looks different than everybody else's healing, it's not the same. And maybe part of that is that, look, she did the best as she could do, but blah, 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 So
Yeah.
I would encourage you not to be hard on yourself
Yeah.
if that's how you see things. I mean, two things can be true at the same time. It's very easy to fall into that dualistic thing and think, oh my God, no, that's not true. And it's really hard to kind of retrain our brain out of that.
Yeah.
But it can be done. It can be done. Just like somebody could have been really mean to somebody once. That's true. That's a true thing. Doesn't make them a bad abusive person, but in that moment they did a bad abusive thing. So maybe that helps in some way. And it's always tricky with moms. I think it's really tricky with parents, but it's really tricky for girls and their moms. I don't know why that
I
is,
would
but
assume men and their dads too, right?
Yeah. I mean, it really, truthfully, from everything that I've seen with all of our kids and everything, it really is. Girls and moms have a harder time, and guys and dads have a hard time. And I don't have an answer for what it is, but it seems to be the truth.
Yeah.
I like what Macmir Dockerville says. You can forgive people for their shortcomings or not. If you can't forgive, then that's okay too. And and still be disappointed that they didn't care enough to try better. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I know that people will harp on me about. But if you're not ready to forgive somebody, you're not ready. If you still, as long as this isn't destroying you, as long as you aren't internalizing this to the nth degree, if you want to go out and get angry at this person one day a week, if you want to go to their grave and give them what for, I support you in that. Because it's one thing that a lot of people say, oh, but you're supposed to forgive. Yeah, but you know what, if you're not ready yet, you aren't ready yet. The thing is that even in Christianity or anything that I'm aware of, you have the Christianity, the universe, the four winds, whatever. The thing is, if it's any kind of deity, they're going to know that you're lying to them. I forgive this person, that son of a bitch. I would like to crush the little head, and I'd
Yeah.
like to take two lightning rods and shove it up his nose and shove something up his butt. That's you're basically lying at that point. And so I think it's something that I think it's important to feel through and to work through. And I don't know. I still, that is something I've been digging into and trying to figure out, how does this really work? You know, does it just lip service? I like to think it's something
I've done
that
a
make you
lot of
keep.
lip service with forgiveness.
Yeah,
A lot.
yeah.
Especially
And
when I was
I like to think it's something like throwing a a, a ball against the wall. If we keep doing it, maybe it'll stick there, but it doesn't do any good to maybe like a monkey throwing a big lump of poo. Maybe if we throw it enough, it'll stick to somebody else, and they
Exactly.
can walk off with it.
Yeah.
But how we get there, I
I,
still, I wish I knew.
I
I
can't see the comments.
just
Okay.
I
really
mean,
quick,
see that.
I'm going to need to leave in like 10 minutes. I was just going to say,
Okay.
I think what I'm going to do is allow myself to feel the anger for now,
Yeah.
because I haven't allowed myself to really do that all this time.
Right.
So allow myself to feel it instead of
There is
stuffing
something
it.
very empowering in that. 100%. I support you in that.
And I think
So
too, forgiveness is like an apology. It's got to be genuine. It doesn't mean anything if it's not. So don't waste your words or your time. if you're not there, you don't have to do it. But it does have to be genuine, I think. And, so, yeah,
Thank
I
you
just
all.
wanted to add that. Yeah.
I didn't want to take away from what A Kenneth needed. I'll just drop off when my colleague calls me.
I
I'm
need
fixing
feedback.
their pants.
I need feedback. A cousin's daughter, 28, died a few days ago. I'm so sorry, hey, Kenneth. I'm so very sorry. I don't know how, why, where, etc. I didn't hear it from my cousin. We've never been close, not adversaries. Do I call? You never know, hey, Kenneth. Whatever might have been a point of contention between you that could help with that. I don't, really, I would trust your instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if you have their address, you could also write to them. I guess I would do whatever. If you're going to regret it later, not calling or not reaching out, I would do it. Absolutely. But do what feels best.
Yeah.
I think that's it. You'll have to, manage that. And if you're feeling called to reach out, then reach out. And you could just say something as simple as, I seen this on Facebook, or I read this in the newspaper. I'm so sorry for your loss. I just wanted to reach out and send you my condolences, my love, my thoughts, whatever that is. And it might open a door, it might not open a door, but if it's what you feel you need to do, then I think it's appropriate. And if they get angry or frustrated with you, then just step back. And but it's obviously affected you in some way. So I think however you feel is appropriate. Sometimes on the obituary websites, they have a place where you can write something. Like, so if they've got an online obituary, you can go write something. So you could even do it that way, then they would see it. You're not, if you feel like the other way is too intrusive to call or send a letter, you could do it that way. That's another thought too. Yeah.
I am so sorry, Kenneth.
Yeah, me too.
All the ones.
This is good to hear. When my sister died, I couldn't call anyone, but I appreciated people reaching out to me. Right on. Yeah.
Well, and it's when people pass, a lot of people bring like food and things like that. I always try to bring water and little snacks. I don't bring full meals. I bring like little packets of carrots or almonds or crackers and water, because you forget to eat and you forget to drink water. And so sometimes it's just those little things, like someone reaching out to you. And Kenneth, if there's nothing online, maybe if it just recently happened, maybe there just hasn't been time yet for it to be posted. I know when my dad passed, it took, well, he was cremated, but I want to say it took a little bit of time before all of that came. You had to write the obituary, you had to figure out all of that stuff if it was said in. So,
You cut out a little bit there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, it might just take a little bit of time for it online. They have to edit and get everything set up, obituary page set up, so it might just take a few days. See that? But you guys, I'm gonna have to go. I've got to help Mindy. I just wanted to pop on and say hi. So I'm gonna I'm gonna hop off, and
Okay,
I will
Christy, thank
see.
you.
I will see you guys later. Yay, Tony! That's exciting. All right, you guys have a good day.
Bye.
What was
I thought
that?
Christy would like to. I opened a checking account, or not a checking account, a savings account,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
was only going to put 25 in it, but so that I wouldn't have fees, I had to put 50. So I started a savings account today with $50 in it. Plus, to help me with more savings, and every month on the 28th, they'll take $25 out of my checking and put it in my savings. And I have a what is it? Where it will take you up to $1. The change difference will go into my savings account.
Yep.
So all my transactions will be even dollar amounts, but the change difference is what goes into my savings account to help build my savings account.
Awesome. Good job.
So yeah.
So you
I was wondering, hey, Kenneth, if you could find out from another relative um, some ways that you can get in touch with your cousin.
Maybe the source, if the source was a relative or a family friend, even.
and potentially you can find some of this stuff online. Because I
How
know
quickly will records go up, though? I know that for example, when we lost somebody in the community, I know that it took about 2-3 weeks before his obituary made it up. So how quickly would records previous to obituary go up?
I do
Yeah.
like Awaken's suggestions. I guess that's Misha.
So this is a three-parter from Misha.
Okay.
If I can find the first part here. Hey, Kenneth, depending on location, if you are able to, it might be a good thing for you to stop by with dinner. We already kind of covered that. Or something else that is always needed that at that time. Most moms, when they are experiencing that sort of tragedy, they are in such a crazy state of disbelief that things, at least for me, total chaos. Even if the reaction isn't completely welcoming, make sure to remind yourself that it will have nothing to do with you. This world has just completely stopped turning for her. Just be there for her as you feel possible. Sending love. Yes.
That's some really great advice.
That is. There was nothing mentioned other than her obit period for Christina for 9 months. Not one word. I'm sorry, Michelle. Not good today myself, so I can't attempt to tag, but I love you all. Love you too, Michelle. Yeah.
I'm hearing some animals complaining. I'm just trying to figure out where they're coming from. If they're from Carol's or if they're from. Okay, I was wondering if somebody was chasing Bigfoot. If it was like a couple dogs, a donkey, and a rooster. I was going to say it was Carol's animals chasing him up by you, but okay.
Now, where I'm at right now, there's barely any animals. There's been kingfishers. I've been watching them come down, and they'll take tiny little fish out of the water, and then they'll take off again, come back, and get another little fish, and then leave. Yeah, pretty cool.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
very cool.
One of the things I miss about living up in the far north is seeing the polar bears in the wild, raiding the dump.
Right on.
That always made sure we never got too close
Yeah,
to
no,
them,
that's
though.
not a good idea, probably. They're cute. They're cute and all. They're still nature.
Same with mama mooses. You don't want to get anywhere close to them.
Mm-mm.
They'll take you out in a
Wow.
heartbeat. I had a mama moose and baby moose that would graze in my backyard when I was living on post housing. with my ex-husband in Alaska. If they'd come visit every day, I got a picture of them, but I was real careful because I like stuck my head out the door and took like a little step out onto the back steps and took my picture and then jumped back inside real fast because I was about to make her mad.
Yeah.
She just kind of was eyeing me like, what do you think you're doing? You know I can hurt you, right? Yeah, I know you can hurt me, Mama Moose. I'm not going to mess with you.
I don't know what a giraffe is.
What a what?
A giraffe, it's spelled Jeraff F-F-E-E.
I don't know what that is.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, I don't know what that
Not
Her
like
name's
Jafar.
Jeffrey.
No.
is.
Like Jafar, did you just give us like another Stargate reference here?
Star Wars,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Oh, 3. Yeah.
Giraffe? I wondered if that's what it was myself.
Oh, maybe.
I'd one like a horse.
Will you spell it again, please?
What? Sorry, what?
Spell it again, please.
What?
Spell it again, sorry.
Okay. Jeraffee.
No idea. Still no idea.
It's called something else in ancient Egyptian. Okay. Huh.
I'm gonna see if I can turn this extra
Hmm.
It's a
camera.
giraffe. It's a
Oh,
different way
okay.
to spell giraffe.
Okay. Giraffe. Okay.
Hmm.
Wow. I've never seen anybody ride one like a horse, but that would be intense. That would be intense.
I do.
I think that was when the giraffe spelt that way was one of the original spellings of it.
I do
Okay.
so love the stream that plant is at.
I'm trying to figure out if I can get my camera to turn around here because the clouds are coming in. Oh, there you go. There's the extra camera.
That water looks so beautiful. I miss the clear
And then if
water
I
like
turn
that.
this way,
Mm-hmm.
and then up a little bit more,
Deja, you're making me homesick.
I can't get to this easily right now, at least with my phone on. But there's a dam, and there is there we go. There is a dam about a kilometer and a half up. I don't know what that is in miles, guys. I'm sorry. And then I've got about half a kilometer to a natural waterfall. I'll post some of those pictures from the natural waterfall after this. It's the rain that we've gotten. It's beautiful right now with the extra water.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Oh, I miss all that clear fresh water like that. We have muddy water in Missouri. You can't even see 2
So,
inches
Oh,
into
good.
it.
Misha has been working on her latest song. She wanted to do a premiere on it for a few days now. She's just been beaten down by triggers, ants, etc. so badly. What can we do to help you, Misha?
Hmm.
What can we do to encourage you? Because your songs are gorgeous.
Hmm.
They are. They are.
So you guys were talking about thyroid issues. So thyroid issues run in my family. My mom has it. My grandmother's had it. I have it. Jonathan has what they call Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid disorder, which I think plays a lot into his emotional stuff. But I can't get him to go see the doctor about taking the medicine that he needs to take. And if he doesn't take the medicine, he could end up really, really sick.
Hmm.
how do you convince your child that they need to take a medicine that could possibly save
I've
their life?
had my thyroid looked at off and on through the years, and there's never been any abnormalities, but that doesn't mean it couldn't have changed,
That's true.
you know?
That's true. And I really don't think, Tony, you can convince him until he's ready. It's just like mental health issues or addiction issues. Until somebody's ready to face it, they're not going to take the medications. They're not going to do the self work. They're not going to do what they need to do to function better.
I guess I was just kind of hoping he'd like get his head out of the sand once his son was born and realize that he's got a child to care for, and that he needs to not only take care of his child, but he needs to take care of himself to be able to take care of his child. But he doesn't quite seem to grasp that concept yet.
I'll be honest, and it feels very horrible to admit, but it took until my second child was 3 years old to figure that out. My children are 7 years apart. My oldest is 14 next month.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that makes sense, Misha. It's a video about DID, which I don't know what that is, and adoption. All the different faces of me. I just keep doubting and changing things nonsensically.
Dissociative identity disorder, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's it. I just couldn't think of the name of it. I knew what it was, but I couldn't think of the name of it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe just give yourself so many changes, and when you get to that point where you've gone through all those changes, say, okay, allow yourself to say it's good enough.
So what I've been doing, Misha, speaking on the digital art form, or medium, I should say, this is my outline, this is my intention, and it's never right in my brain. It's never exactly what I saw. It's never... I think that's our way of beating ourselves up. And it almost comes with trauma. Nothing's ever good enough. So I give myself a checklist. This is what needs to be in X image, X video, whatever it might be. And I'll play around with it for a maximum of, for me, 10 minutes a thumbnail. That's it now. If I can't get it after 10 minutes, I'm moving on. And I'll come back to it if I need to. My most recent short that I threw up on my channel, I had gone back to it over and over and over again for 3 weeks. So I had the idea. I loved the idea. I tried putting it together. I hated how the first one ended up, the second, the third, the fourth. And then I was like, you know what? No, we're putting a time limit on this now, because if I'm not giving myself a limit, it's just going to keep going and going and going.
That's really pretty smart there.
Thank you.
I think that would go for any kind of art medium that anybody's in. I mean, when I'm writing, even, if I can't get out what I want to get out, I walk away, because otherwise I drive myself crazy, because I am hanging my head in shame here. I'm the police, grammar police.
Cool.
I am. I admit it. If you speak a word wrong, you drive me crazy. And it takes everything I have not to correct somebody in the way they speak. It takes everything I have not to correct my family's writing when they write notes and stuff. Because, I'm bad. I'm bad. But I'm a writer, and I expect a certain amount of perfection, and I guess I shouldn't expect perfection out of myself, because nobody's perfect. But there's a certain amount. I hold myself to a fairly high standard. But then I have to step back and realize, okay, I can't hold everybody to my standards, because everybody's standards are different. And but we also can't push ourselves beyond that standard, which pushes us into wanting to be perfect.
Yep.
So it's finding that very fine, thin line that says, okay, I can do this a couple more times, but now I have to stop, because if I don't stop, it's going to just, yeah, I'm going to implode, is how I feel.
It's very interesting how unconnecting socialization, how we've been socialized as Western society, for example, to exactly what Connie had just said, to what's happening with Misha, this perfectionism aspect. We have been told that imperfections are not welcome. We beat ourselves up over this, right? Imperfections are what makes things interesting. Imperfections are what makes things beautiful. And it may be imperfect to us, but maybe it's perfect to somebody else. So I keep coming back to this socialization aspect.
You know, don't tell her I said so, but that plant freak, she's really a pretty smart cookie, but don't tell her, because it'll go to her head.
It goes to her head every time.
Well, it's just like when we look at nature, right? Nature's not perfect. There's all kinds of imperfections in the rocks and in the trees and everything, and yet we see the beauty in it. And like you said, socialization, why can't we do that for ourselves? Why can't we do that for our friends? Why can't we do that for our coworkers? And it's those imperfections that make them who they are. And they make them the people that we come to love, because, like us, they're not perfect. And it makes it easier to accept our own imperfections. And I think that's awesome. And Stasia, you do some seriously beautiful, beautiful work. Seriously beautiful work. And you should be so proud of yourself with what you've accomplished, because it's phenomenal. And the fact that you can get yourself down to 10 minutes to do a thumbnail, yeah, that's good. Because I know people struggle with it for like forever. So to do a thumbnail in 10 minutes, that's talent.
It's easier when you get somebody else's vision to create, to be honest. Once it's not my vision, I take the perfection part out of it. It's a lot easier. So to get, Christy telling me a topic, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, I put aside a few images already that these came up for previous ones. They just didn't work out so well. Oh, let's see if they work for this one this time. Mm-hmm. And now that I've gotten the hang of her style, that's where I was going with it. The hang of her style, the way that, Christy's style is very unique and flowy and beautiful. It's easy now for me to spot images and be like, oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Now, if I had to turn that around, I'm still in the discovery process of who I am again, though. If I had to turn that around and put it for something that I was 100% creating for me, that would be why the short took me 3 weeks. Because it was for me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's what makes it hard for ourselves, is because, it's easy to see what we can do for others. It's not so easy to see what we can do for ourselves. And I mean, it's like working with Maya, right? She's doing the illustrations for my book. And she keeps doubting herself. And I'm like, no, Maya, these are perfect. They're absolutely wonderful. They're just what I need, because they're childlike, but you can see the detail and the work that goes into them to make them look childlike, because it's like a child telling the story. So you don't want it all kind of fancy. You want it very from the viewpoint of a child. And she has that nailed down so well. And I am so happy with all of her artwork so far. I couldn't ask for a better illustrator in my life.
That's awesome.
And she sent me some more illustrations, so I shall share with you all in the chat later.
I switched sides. Sorry, guys. There was somebody downriver, and I just don't want to put somebody on camera who hasn't given me consent.
You can put me on camera. I don't care. I talk so openly about my life all the time. Like I was at the bank. I told the guy at the bank that I'm polyamory. I live with my husband and my boyfriend. How many people do you all know that will sit there and do that? Just care. If you don't like me, don't like me. Your loss, not mine.
Yeah.
I've got other friends that are there to support me, so I'm good with it. So I don't care. The only people that I care about is my mom and my brother and my dad's family that I grew up around and that are my family, like my first family. And it's hard because I know they will never accept me for who I truly am.
Yep.
I am a witch. I'd be disowned in a heartbeat. I live a polyamory lifestyle. They don't know it. I think they suspect it, but because it hasn't been said outright that I am, they don't question it. Don't know, don't tell, you know? But if I
Mhm.
did, again, I'd probably be disconnected from. They would have nothing to do with me. Why? I didn't do anything to them. I just chose my own life path. And this is where I struggle. This is where I have a hard time because I love my family with my whole heart. And I would love to share every bit of my life with them. And not being able to do that is like sometimes walking in the dark, not knowing where you came from or where you're going because part of who you are is now lost.
Yeah.
And it's a struggle. But you
Mhm.
know what? I'm Miss Susie Sunshine and I see the bright side of everything.
Somebody had said this to me today, and it really hit home. So I want to share it with you, Tony.
Okay.
Tony, Tony. I go back and forth from how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. Um,
I don't care.
the okay. I understand that these individuals are still alive. I understand that these individuals may still be a part of your life. I'm applying this mindset that was told to me earlier. I was just like, I'm angry because my mom isn't here to share some of these moments with me. I need help. I want help. I want to share this. I want to talk about this. And the individual told me, well, the universe or your mom plopped all of these people into your life who are pseudo mothers.
Yes,
So
I was
I would
watching.
like to share that concept with you. Whoever these people are to you, the universe has plopped pseudo uncles, aunts, moms, dads into your life to be able to share these things with.
Yeah,
Right
they
on.
have. It has. Very much so. And I was
Yeah.
watching that. That was on Christie's stream. And I was watching it that time. But I was out and about and I couldn't really comment much. But I caught that one and I thought that was just so
It almost got me
um
going. Like, I was like, I can't cry lately. I almost started. I almost did.
yeah, yeah. I've been crying too much. I've been crying for you, Stasia. I've been crying for you because I've been this past week, my eyes still hurt from all the crying I did this past weekend.
Mm.
But you know what? I still feel better because I
Yeah.
did the things I needed to do today and I hung on to what I knew I needed to do and I didn't let go of it. And I feel really, you're talking over me again, Mr. Man.
Yeah.
I just feel so much better for having achieved what I needed to achieve today. Did I want to go get me a slushie as a reward? I thought about it and then I thought, nope, not gonna do it.
Today.
Not gonna do it today.
Oh, I'm being a puppy. Uh, no, that's awesome that you got that done today. It is awesome that you've already got a little bit in there. You've got a plan to round up to every dollar. It's steps, it's progress. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you.
You are so
Well, I
welcome.
I kind of have a goal for that money. I
Okay.
got a book I got to publish.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
the only way I'm going to get it published is if I save for it. Because I don't like asking people for money. It's just not who I
Mhm.
am, you know? If I'm going to do this, I've got to do this on my own 2 feet.
Mhm.
Now starts the work. Now starts the hard part.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? I'm up for it. And I got all you guys to cheer me on, so that makes it even better.
I love this from that Magmir Dakigal. I tried towing the line thing for a long time until I just decided to be me and say, if they put in the effort, they get me as I am. If not, they get less of me. Simple as that. I love that.
I like that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, how often do we do that? How often do we let family pull us one direction or another, or try to make us change our mind, or make us do something we don't want to do? You know, how often do we have to stand up and say no? You know, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, actually, I was listening, I think it was last night, with Christian and
Karina?
Karina. Thank you. I want to call her Kendra, but it's Karina. Thank you. I was listening to Christy and Karina, and and they were talking about the modes and everything, and it was so funny because I'm just like sitting here thinking, yep, that fits this person in my family and this person in my family. But there was something that was said, I can't remember what it was, but to me it was just, it really stuck. You know, it was like, you have to be you. You can't let others tell you who you are.
Yeah.
And it's not always
That was
easy.
no,
No.
it's not. And that was part of my issue today.
Right.
I sent. It's a part of the situation, so I can't go into detail.
Okay.
Very long story short, I had to go against the individual who is a very difficult piece of my past. Go against their mindset. Go against their decisions. And immediately I felt, holy shit, I'm not safe. Holy shit, something's going to happen. So sorry, I'm staring. Holy crap, I'm, I had to fully remind myself I'm in a safe place. I'm 45 minutes geographically away from this individual by car. Yes, I'm going to have to see them face to face this upcoming weekend very quickly on 2 different occasions, but very, very quickly. I still don't know what it's fully like to stand up to somebody and say, no. I can say no for myself now, but I'm still have that feeling of something's going to come crashing down. And I went into full on shaking mode. I went on to hyperventilating. I got off the phone and I was shaking. I was hyperventilating. My chest was so tight. Like it felt like there was a brick or a bunch of bricks on my chest that I could barely take a deep breath. I just needed to be able to go and say it. Just say, I've done what I needed to do. I didn't like it because I had to say it out loud. It couldn't be via an email. So it's like that disconnection of I can put the words down and send it off, but to actually have to say the words is something else. It sends me in again, I wouldn't say I spiraled, but I definitely went into a trauma response and I definitely went into a survival mode.
But you did know that you went there.
Yes.
And you did take steps to counter it. That's huge. And Carol's Rooster agrees with me.
Yes, yes, it does.
He knows I'm right.
And that I can be proud of, the fact that I recognized it, the fact that, and I'm trying to focus on those, I recognized that I was having a trauma response. I recognized I was very quickly going into a survival mode. So just starting to take the steps, box breathing. It was Cosmic who said that thermometer thing. What's the 10 threshold? What's actually the worst case scenario? Is your house burning down? And then what's the lowest? Put yourself on where you are on the thermometer. And it felt like my house was burning down, but my house was not burning down. So just kind of reminding myself how actually severe the moment was helped a lot. And then I was lucky. very, very lucky that I went into a meeting, a social work meeting, almost right away. And then I was able to kind of bring myself down within that just from talk therapy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
brain's designed to keep you safe, and that's what it's trying to do. The thing is that, of course, you know this, but it's programmed into that lower part of your brain, so that's what it's going to be doing. So, but yeah, I mean, good job though that you recognize that. That is huge,
Thank
and
you.
uh, and I hope that you're able to hopefully you're able to use that little bit that you had before your next meeting, and you're able to kind of keep yourself in your thinking space, and yeah.
Let me stay in the wise mind. Is that what Christy calls it? Not the Spock-like mind, the actual make rational decisions, not just be all
Mm-hmm.
swordsy and want to do things.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Can you see comments, Stacia?
I cannot, but I can see the one that's up on the screen. So let me just come down here. Actually, can you read them? Because I can't see you guys and the comments at the same time.
Crystal saying, Stacia, can you try saying what you need to say to this person over and over in your head or out loud in front of a mirror? It's something I've been encouraged to do on occasion.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would definitely take a look into that.
right on. That's a good
Don't take a
suggestion.
look into that. Give it a try. Give it a try.
Right.
It's actually come up a little bit in some of the spiritual stuff that I've been doing, and the way that it's referred to is mirror work.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
that's really interesting, Crystal. Thank you so much. It's just something I haven't done yet.
Yeah. Practice makes able.
Yeah.
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 You can do that. You can do that looking into the water too.
Yes. Yeah. I feel safer in front of a mirror. I can lock the door. Nobody else gets to hear it. I just get to lock the door. All right, guys. I'm going to say goodnight. My arm is hurting because I don't have my tripod. I've been using my arm the whole time.
Oh, ouch.
I'm going to start heading back towards the house. I think I've decided I'm going to treat myself to Vietnamese food tonight.
Oh wow.
There you go. Go for it.
Right on. Yeah.
But I love you all. Thank you so very, very much. And I'll see you guys next time.
Right on.
Later. Love ya.
Bye.
I tried to jump on earlier, but I guess my phone was being stupid like usual. Just
Wally.
what did Wally say?
Don't say Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times.
Actually, I should probably jump off here too. I need to get dinner made for the family,
on.
so I'm trying something a little different tonight. So
I'll get back to the brush hogging.
there you go.
Get that a little further along. The goats are so happy with that shorter grass.
Oh, I'm sure.
As tall as they were.
They're out
They
there
couldn't
chewing
keep up. They couldn't eat enough to keep up with all the growth.
That's right.
They're out there chewing up bugs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, you want to say goodbye too? Okay. I think they heard you. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.
Good to see you.
I do love the noises of your farm. It is really kind of. It's got a lot of character. Yeah. Oh well, I do. Oh my gosh. What a day! I find myself saying I was told there'd be no math today, and there was math, and my
Had the
brain hurts.
math. Dadgummit.
Yeah, yeah. So I, I should have given it to Stasha because she's Stasia. I'll call her Stasha just because I can. And she's not here to disagree with me. So, but oh, I'm so going to get it. But anywho, I do hope you have yourself a great day.
You too, Dan.
Oh yeah, and Black Cat. Yeah, she is. She's working, but then she also had somebody visiting Tara. So yeah, she's
Oh,
been
okay. Oh,
super
that's
busy
right.
this week.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so she should get back to the point. I mean, I know that she's still going to be much busier than she was, but she should get back to a point where she's able to pop on now and again.
Right
It's
on.
just right now she's just super busy. So, but
Yeah.
I do hope you have an awesome day. And
You
take
too.
care and all that kind of thing.
You too. I appreciate your understanding today, and maybe tomorrow. Maybe it's just a one-day thing. Maybe it's not the usual. It would be nice if it wasn't the usual. So yeah, you guys are amazing, and thank you for giving me that grace. I appreciate it. I hope to see you again next meeting, which will be 3:40 Central Time, same place. And until then, peace, y'all.